outstanding commitment and dedication as a charter member of the Houston Trailblazers Business and Professional Women, an affiliate of the South Central District and the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Club, Inc. Your enthusiasm contributes to the legacy of excellence represented by this association's renowned programs, which improve social and civic conditions while inspiring the youth through leadership development. We congratulate you on this honorable milestone presented during the chartering ceremony of the Houston Trailblazers Business and Professional Women, and signed by me out of my office. Now, for everyone that don't get one, Doris know that if she called me, everybody gonna get one. So, but as I give this to her, I want to let you all know part of why I'm here today as a council member. When I consider myself a novice pastor. I just started my pastorate many years ago, 1986 actually. And I didn't know much. I'm just learning to be a pastor. Was at a small church, 47 people. And it was then when I met some people who in the community, which I knew. Aljanita Davis, the Robinsons, and others. And so the city of Houston was going through a trial, a situation Doris knows very well. And what was going on is that we were not having any economic power. No dollars was flowing through our community. I was a young guy, loved, serving the Lord, wanted to get in the community. So I had to go to a meeting one night about economic development. And it was under the CRA law, Community Reinvestment Act, which I didn't know anything about. We were kind of slow about it on this side of the world, in Texas, and other cities and other major and states were doing it in the minority community, and we were just late to the ball game until James Robinson, that most know him called Piggy, and he was Judson Robinson's one of his brothers, and he came and said, hey, we got to do something about our city. We need to inform everybody that banks are redlining against the minorities. And so I went to this meeting, learned about this stuff, knew nothing, and in the room, and they said, let's organize. And we did. And so we now filed a suit against this big bank, which then was Allied Bank, which is now Wells Fargo Bank. And we were out there and we were trying to get this thing up off the ground. Well, guess what? It was Houston Sun, the Houston Sun paper, Doris Ellis and her husband, who said, come on in, use our phones, call people around the city and try to motivate people to get on the bandwagon. Let's fight this case. Doris was there from day one, helping us do that. I was new to it. They said, well, we need a president. And I was sitting in the back of the room. And somebody said, well, what about that preacher in the back? And I turned around and looked. And there wasn't nobody behind me. And that's the story. And then we protested the bank with 15 people. And guess what? The federal government approved the merger. They were merging with a bank on the west side. I told this story to Nikita. And it was a West Coast bank, First Interstate. Some of y'all may remember. They was around. They was going to merge with Allied. And the federal government approved the merger. And someone called me early in the morning one day and said, hey, Pastor Davis, y'all lost. I said, who said we lost? Well, it put out that the government approved the merger. Well, when we met with the bank, we really did lose. Because what happened, they made the bank start a community development position in all of the banks, and it spread. Aljanita Davis became one of the first community development leaders, worked for Chase Bank. She got her job. Deborah Randolph was at Wells Fargo, and it went on and on and on and on. Now money start coming, That's how Kirby John Caldwell's project got off, Harvey Clemens, Jimmy Dixon. I can go on and on and on. Who said we lost? Sometimes when they say you lose, you really win. The problem is, and do y'all know, that was not a branch bank, 1988. And Doris, matter of fact, I went and pulled the paper that you all took a picture of me standing up there face to face with Walter Johnson. Now, Mr. Johnson was a shrewd guy, big banker. Matter of fact, he's the head guy of the Amateur Bank at Southwest Bank of Texas. And so, but from that day, because of our exposure with the help of Doris, I would never forget that. You don't forget the people who help you. You don't forget the people that help you get to where you're going. And of course, I never thought I'd ever be on city council or serving, but you never know what God gonna bring you. But you can't forget. So we did it and we moved forward, but here's the problem. In '88, that was not a branch bank. And most of you know this. If you had money in the bank, you had to drive to the other side of town. Go put your money in the bank or draw your money out. The first branch bank in a minority community is on Cullen and Reed Road. That Wells Fargo Bank is still there. That's the first one ever, okay? So guess what? I'm resurrected it again. Now that I'm on city council, I said, hey banks, y'all got to tighten up. Y'all need to put some money back into the black community and the Hispanic community. And all the money ain't coming from the city, they ain't coming from the state, they come from the federal government. These banks got money and they can ease up on these processes and help these small business ladies and all of our other minority people. So Doris, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And you know you just called me and your brother gonna be here.